Hey guys, into Red Room. So it's Tony. I wanted to do a quick video about the cat that I adopted, and she's under the table, so I'm not gonna get her anyway. So yeah, I adopted a cat, and this is the second cat I've adopted in the last 6 months. So the first one was a much older cat. She was 12. I got her from the same place I got her. As soon as I mentioned it, yeah, here she comes. But she was much older, and she was surrendered for litter issues. And you know, me being me, like, I can work with her, I can do it. It did not work out. It was not the most positive thing. Let me get her. Yes. Do you want to be picked up or no? Okay. She's spoiled. Anyway, this is my cat. This is the second cat. So I don't know about the name she has. I just call her Cat or Babykins right now. But anyway, she's much younger. She's 3. But the first cat that I got was 12, very old. Surrendered for litter issues. They didn't try to tell me what was going on or whatever. They were like, really trying to sell the cats and shit. Like, oh, like, we don't know. Like, bro, like, what? Because it turned out, like, the litter issue was, like, a real thing. Like, yeah, so it was a lot going on. So my life was just, like, falling apart. I, like, got her, and then, like, I lost my job, and then had to get another job. And I was like, in addition to, like, your health issues, this litter issue, I've also lost my job, and I need to, like, get my life stable again. So I unadopted her, and I didn't want to, like, jump right back into it because it was exhausting to deal with the cat with, like, severe litter issues. And I know she's up there in age. She's 12, right? So, like, that's one of those things with the decline and stuff like that. But I also just knew that, like, financially, like, where I was just, like, the big thing. So I surrendered her back because I'd rather her just go through the process, get adopted in another week, because she was only there for a week before I got her. And she was friendly enough, so it was, like, fine. It's just I probably wasn't the person for her. I had never had a cat, and then I got a really old cat, so it was kind of like, what? So yeah, so I got this cat after like 6-ish months. Completely different experience. Very spoiled. The other one didn't really like being picked up. She doesn't quite like being picked up either, but she will allow me to pick her up because she likes being held. So she's sitting in my lap right now. And she doesn't get attention. She starts to claw at me, and then she starts to vocalize and meow a lot. And then she's always wanting food, even though, like, she eats, like, every day. And, like, I'll come back and, like, only half her food is eaten. And I'm like, you didn't eat the other half of the food. Like, why are you meowing at me? But yeah, this completely different experience. I think I know what to expect now from a cat. I know what to expect from a cat, and I kind of generally am a little bit more secure within myself. Like, I feel like there was a lot just going on over the summer leading into, like, fall winter of 2024, and now we're in 2025, winter 2025. We're still in winter, but, like, we're in 2025 now as far as the year, right? And so she's just, like, a lot. But as far as me feeling a lot more stable within myself, like, there's just, like, not a lot of moving parts anymore that were there when the other cat was here. And then she likes always being, she's just, like, really a lot. But yeah, so one of the things that I had to contemplate was, like, did I want to end up taking care of another, like, living being again? Because I felt kind of like, man, this is a lot from, like, the other cat. Because I feel like she also had behavioral issues that, like, nobody was, like, trying to address. But anyway, And so it kind of soured me on the experience just a little bit. Only had her a month before I surrendered her back, but it did leave a bad taste in my mouth. But it was like I was jumping the gun by getting like a super old cat, really did, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I had to like think about that. And so yeah, I considered a kitten, but and I actually was gonna adopt a kitten. I like met somebody random at the pet store because I would go to the pet store and see like all the cats and stuff like that all the time. I like was considering adopting from the store versus the shelter, and the price was prohibitive. But I like met this random lady and was like, oh yeah, like you can like text me and stuff like that. So I like messaged her and she like never like wrote me back. And so I was just like, well, fuck it then. Like, I guess she like, you know what I'm saying? I just did a video about things being for you and not for you, and that wasn't for me because she never responded back. But I was like, okay, if I want to really do this, then like I'm gonna put an effort in. So I like started going to the shelter and stuff like that. And the one cat, the other cat that I wanted, she ended up the next day. I like came back. Well, I looked on the website and she wasn't on the website anymore. Her picture. And so I was like, oh, she got adopted. It was like so sad. Her and her like kind of like bonded pair buddy were both adopted or whatever. And so I was like, damn. And it was so funny because like, okay, I left or whatever. And then one day I came to the shelter because I was like, I'd started going frequently. So I would like go one day and then next week I'd go another day. So like that. So surprisingly, when I went the first time, surprisingly this time, the cats were going really fast as opposed to when I went of summertime, it was like a bunch of cats. It was a bunch of cats there. They were all like just sitting there, it seemed like for months. For this time, it would be like the cat would be like in there. They would be like the intake. And then like you have to wait like maybe a week or so just in case they need surgery and stuff like that for like spaying, neutering. And then they would be adopted and they would be gone. And so like I would come back in a week and be like, oh shit, like this cat is gone. And that's what happened with the first cat. Her name was Princess. And then the other cat that she was bonded with, her name was like Snap Peas, Sweet Peas, something like that. But yeah, and so one day I came and all the other cats were gone, and then it was like the place was like real empty looking, and I just so happened to be there when she came in, and so I went to her cage that they put her in. It was just a cage anyway. It's kind of like a cage type situation. And so yeah, I started interacting with her and stuff like that, and she was like really affectionate, kind of the same way as the first cat that I was interested in. And kind of looked the same too. They both were black and white. The other one was very, very small. She's still small too, but she's also probably getting fat because she eats a lot. But yeah, and then I like saw her put in the adoption paper or whatever. Needed to come pick her up after she got her surgery. And yeah, then I got her surgery and then she came home. And so she needs her first like visit to the vet or whatever. But yeah, completely different experience. She sleeps in the bed with me and stuff like that. It's kind of interesting, the difference of experience. But also, I wasn't the first. I wasn't the cat. I wasn't the person for the first cat that I had, and I kind of like accept that. I am kind of the person. This one. But then part of my reason for getting a cat was I was going through grief. Not like, oh man, I need not like I need something to love. Like, no. But I was going through like a grief process. So I adopted her in February. So if you don't know, my grandmother died in February last year unexpectedly. And it's been like a grief process to like understand that whole thing and move forward from it. But I kind of like missed the presence of something. And because I had already had a cat before, I think I just rushed a little bit more than I should have with the first one. And now, you know, had to like deal with that experience, which was negative for me and her, kind of. Right, because then she gets sent back and she's like, where the fuck am I? Like, I was just like somewhere else like 20 minutes ago, right? um but I was going through the grief process, and I did want to take care of something. I also told my friend it's very weird to have something that's sentient in your house that's not you, human, or like even my plants. It's very interesting to have something sentient outside of those two things, and it's a very weird experience to deal with, right? Like, you know she's in the room somewhere. But yeah. So yeah, this is my cat. I gotta go get my fries, but she's spoiled. She loves food, and I don't know how long this relationship's gonna last, but I do love her very much, and I hope that she's happy here. All right, that's all I wanted to share with you guys. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.